Hey everybody, Rob D'Alessio, my good friend Brad Godinez, Executive Chef, General Manager of Burnt Ed Barbecue in beautiful Denver Tech Center. And today what we're doing, St. Louis style ribs, loaded mashed potatoes, the best French fries you've ever had, homemade mac and cheese, potato salad, and then the coup de grace, burnt ends. Come on, let's show you how to do it. Okay, welcome back. For those of you that are new here, go to our page, subscribe to it, like our videos. You'll see some amazing content like we're doing today, and we're gonna start with burnt ends, one of my absolute favorites. All right, how are we gonna do it?
Chef, today we're gonna start with burnt ends. So we season and we smoke them for 16 hours. It's 2 hours longer than the brisket. Get rid of that fat content in a little bit more.
Okay.
Break down some of the tissue in there. Pull one out for you here. So we start with our point. This is our burnt end right here, end cap of the brisket. Smoked 16 hours. Quite a medley of seasoning on there. A lot of people use salt and pepper. We go ahead and brown sugar, 6 other herbs on there.
So you buy a whole brisket with what they call the point or the décolon, right? So some people buy flats. I don't understand that, but whatever. So it's a whole brisket. Nice big old piece of meat. It's moving muscle, so you gotta really cook it, really get the collagen to break down, which is what you do. So you smoke the whole brisket together?
We separate it.
You do, you take the point off. So you go 16 hours on the point.
Right.
Okay, let that fat really break down.
Right, and the brisket flats come out about 2 hours earlier.
Okay, perfect.
Brisket's for somebody who likes a little bit more lean meat.
Right.
So that burnt end come out just like that.
Then we cube it. That's the traditional way you cube it.
Cube it just like that. And that's our burnt end.
Unbelievable. So how do you serve that? You serve that like on a Texas toast, maybe some pickles and stuff like that?
Texas toast. We don't barbecue we don't season and barbecue sauce any of our meat as it goes out. We have quite a selection over there, and this gives the guest an opportunity to pick and choose out there, from all the way to fire sauce to a little bit milder, the original.
That's awesome. All right, what are we doing next? We're gonna do some ribs.
Next, we got the ribs.
So we're gonna do some St. Louis style ribs, is that right?
St. Louis style ribs.
Okay.
St. Louis style ribs are nice and cut, clean, squared.
Okay. So some of you may be familiar with baby back ribs and spare ribs, and then there is St. Louis style. And basically what that is that comes from the spare rib, but the spare rib has all these extra like tapered edges and all that, and then what they do is they square it off so it looks nice and clean. Looks like a larger baby back rib. Difference is it's just got a meatier bite to it, a lot more taste, I think, into it. And there you have it. But you can see how it's squared off on both sides. So you season, house-made seasoning, I'm sure.
Yep.
And then you rub both sides. Do you do any kind of liquid rub too, or is it just a dry rub?
It's just a dry rub. They'll go in the smoker. We'll let them go about 3 hours, and then we'll spray them down with an apple cider.
Like a wash, yeah?
Yep.
All right,
Keep it nice and moist.
How did you get your background? You're a pit master. That's one of the coolest things ever. How did you get your background?
I started out as an executive chef, and then I was just fortunate enough to work with a guy, of course, by the name of Smokey.
Right.
I don't even know the guy's original name. It's just Smokey. And I was fortunate enough to work with him for a couple years in the barbecue. He's triple blue ribbon winner in Chicago. So to work next to this guy, every time he shows up, you really listen to him and absorb everything.
You just take it all in like a sponge.
Absolutely.
And just try to do your best. All right, cut it up. Let's take a look what we got. So you can see there's just this awesome smoke ring around here. And it's still onto the bone, but when you take that bite, it'll pull away from it, and then that's just perfect.
And again, we lightly glaze these with the barbecue sauce, while we leave it up to the guest to choose their barbecue
what they're going to do, right? Like you serve it dry, and then they can sauce it however they like. That's awesome.
Okay, the rule of 100. What is the rule of 100? Everybody's heard of it before, right? Either your parents or your grandparents. Sometimes somebody's told you about the rule of 100. And for years and years and years, the rule of 100 was 70% stocks, 30% bonds, or 60% stocks and 40% bonds. Well, that's evolved over time to now people say it's 70 or 60% stock mutual funds and 30 or 40% bond funds. The problem with that is bonds are a safe investment, right? You pay $1,000, you get what's called a coupon twice a year, and then after 20, 30 years, you get your $1,000 back, right? Safe investment. Bond funds are completely different. They are a mutual fund. But interest rates right now are at or near all-time lows, which means bonds, they're at or near all-time highs. See, they're like a teeter-totter. They don't really get along very well. And so what happens is fund managers are buying and selling their inventory on a consistent basis, and that's a term called turnover. You don't have to know what that means. Just know that it comes at an expense. So we have found some mutual or some bond funds that are growing by 2% per year, but they might cost you 5% to have them, or it's a safe way to lose money. So what we believe the rule of 100 is that if you have $1 million in your portfolio and you're 60 years old, you should have $600,000 that is completely safe from any type of market risk at all. The other $400,000, you can have all the risk in the world you want. So if you're 70, $700,000. If you're 50, $500,000. So make sure that you talk to your financial professional or a financial professional to make sure that you are lined up with as much risk as what you're tolerant of.
Now we're gonna do one of my all-time favorites, potato salad. It is packed with all kinds of flavor. Let's go.
All right, so we'll start out with a boiled red potato.
Right.
Just right to where it just breaks up. Still
Just
like
gives
a little chunky.
bit.
Yep. Give it a little bit of bite. Then we'll add in a chive and a red pepper mix.
Right. So you got green onions, chives, whatever you want to call it, just scallions, whatever you want to know. But it's a really nice fine dice, so it doesn't really overpower when you take that bite.
Just significant enough for a little bit of flavor. Then we have some celery in there.
Perfect.
Celery in there.
Celery really adds that crunch to it. It's because the potatoes, they kind of give a little bit, so the celery will give you a little bit of crunch.
And we'll do apple cider vinegar.
Apple cider vinegar.
Salt, of course. Nice little taste right there.
Kosher salt, always kosher salt.
Then we have some garlic aioli.
Garlic
right here.
aioli, fancy word for mayonnaise. But
I love that smell.
it smells unbelievable.
So we roast our garlic here. We'll roast the garlic.
Right, and then incorporate it into the mayonnaise. Awesome.
And then our
I
secret
love this.
ingredient is our pickled mustard seed. That gives it that just burst of flavor.
Little pillows of happiness, right? That's awesome. Man, you should scratch your phone right now and smell it. Don't do that.
Nice mix up right there. And that's going to be our potato salad.
That's awesome. All right, well, let's plate up some of these and we'll wrap a bow on this. All right, there you have it. St. Louis style ribs, burnt ends, all the accoutrements. Don't forget, go to our page, subscribe, like our videos, look at all of our amazing content just like this. I'm Rob D'Alessio, my good friend Brad Godinez, and this was A Taste of Retirement.